Good morning, beloveds. Okay. We went for the bike ride this morning, and when we were out and crossing a particular street, I said, I think today is the anniversary of the day that I got bit by the dog and fell off my bike. And Tom's like, that's not an anniversary we want to celebrate. So I was like, you're right. But here we are. So, yeah. Okay. It is October 10th. Our title is The Christ Within. Our author is Helen van Slyke, and this is from Mountain Thoughts, 1927, and it is from Science of Mind. And it, I believe, is a poem. Could be a song, but I think it's a poem. So, again, Helen van Slyke, The Christ Within. I, if I be lifted up, will draw all people to me. 'Tis I, the Christ within, that speaketh now to thee. Yea, I, the Christ within, proclaim anew my birth. Look unto me, and be ye saved, ye uttermost ends of the earth. Saved from all that hinders the onward march of the soul, the petty limitations that keep thee from thy goal. Destructive thoughts and wrong endeavor have earned their measure of the pain. I look to thee, O Christ within, and I am whole again. That's it. That's it. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and it reminds me of, and I think it's Meister Eckhart, who says, what good does Christ being born 2,000 years ago do for me if the Christ is not born within me every day? And that's what Helen van Slyke is. It's like, look, you know what? You can tell me all the stories that you want, but if the Christ isn't within me now, then what good did the stories do? What good did the stories do? So it's like, look to the Christ within you. You have heard me talk about the Christ within you. I talk about it like software simply because that's the language that I know. My mom is an electrical engineer. And so I talk about it like program, like it's a program. It is factory installed software. You come pre-installed with it. Every living being comes pre-installed with the Christ software, the Christ consciousness. We all come pre-installed with it. Now, every religion calls it something different. If you are Christian, then you call it the Christ consciousness, because we are loosely, we came out of the Christian tradition, Science of Mind. We call it the Christ consciousness. If you were Buddhist, you would call it the the Buddha consciousness. If you were Hindu, I have no idea what you would call it. Because there's many, many to choose from over there. But it's all the same consciousness. It is all the kingdom of God consciousness. It is all heavenly consciousness. Just like when you talk to the Buddhists, they talk about their word for heaven is nirvana, and ours is heaven. So it's just it's a different word, but it means the same thing. And so that the Christ consciousness is the same thing. Absolutely every single living being on this planet comes pre-installed with that Christ consciousness. We are made of the substance, which is God's substance, spiritual substance, and the spiritual substance naturally contains the Christ consciousness, therefore. And so I always say, you want to activate the Christ consciousness? The password is love. All action is taken in love, and that's one of those things where you want to look at one of the most profound things that I think I heard Jesse say that made me sit back and go, is that everything is either love or a cry for love. So there are a lot of people out there doing pretty awful things because they're not getting their needs met. They're not getting and maybe the only need they're not getting met is love, and so that's why we even with those people, you're just like, you treat for them to know who they are. When they can come to the conclusion that they're a beloved child of God, then they'll make different choices. I know this from experience. It took me a while to accept that I was a beloved child of experience, but once I accepted that I was a beloved child of experience, I made different choices. And then every now and again, when I forget that I'm a beloved child of God, I make interesting choices, and then I have to go back and look at that and go, all right. And then I have to do the atonement work and the forgiveness work, and and fix that. I gotta fix the messes that I make, because I can. I can fix the messes that I make. So, it's up to me to do that. And, that's her beautiful poem. Her beautiful poem is that reminder. Where do you find Christ? Not 2,000 years ago in a manger. Not, I was going to do the math, but I can't. Just under 2,000 years ago on the crucifix. Where do you find Christ? Within you right now. When you recognize that, when you recognize the Christ consciousness, and you make choices from there, your life will change. Your life will change. And she starts it out. If I be lifted up, will draw all people to me. Because that's what the Christ consciousness does. When you walk around in the honest to God Christ consciousness, when you walk around in the heavenly mindset, when you walk around in the aura of love, people are drawn to you. Because they want that. And that's when you get to be that. And that's why I like to say, when you meet people when your Christ consciousness is activated and people come to you in their storms, okay, you don't get sucked into their storms. You can pull them into your peace. You can give them a place to rest. They still have to do their own work. They still have to activate their own Christ consciousness. They still have to create their own heaven and their own peace, but you can give them a place to rest. Now, I am a firm believer in, I will give you a place to rest. But if you do not work on your storm is not going to disturb my peace, and I will move on. So, and take my peace with me. So don't ever think that the Christ consciousness means you get to be battered by other people's storms, because it does not. It does not. All right. Okay. It's the saved from all that hinders the onward march of the soul, the petty limitations that keep thee from the goal. Destructive thoughts and wrong endeavors have earned their measure of pain. I look unto thee, O Christ within, and I am whole again. Okay. So Helen is reminding us that when we are done with all of the nonsense, that we go back within. We go back to the Christ within. And I give you a mission every day. And honest to God, it's the same mission every day. I just use different words. Well, here she's being pretty explicit. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to go back to the Christ within. And does that mean treatment? And does that mean meditation? And does that mean, yes. Any path you take to the Christ within, that's the mission. That's the mission. When you act from the Christ within, you will always act in love. You will always act in love. So, and that includes tough love. That does include tough love. That, like I said, just because I am acting from my Christ consciousness and I'm giving you a place to rest, sometimes if I can see that you're just resting and you're not doing your work and your storm's still battering, okay. You obviously haven't had enough of your storm and have made the choice to get out of it. So, all right. That's the mission today. To go to the Christ within. I commend Helen Van Slyke to you. The Christ Within. It's a beautiful little poem, and it's short. It's only like 4 stanzas. So, and then the other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is the spiritual practice of self-care. To do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. It's as simple as taking a deep breath before you speak, especially to yourself. There was that time that I heard the way I was talking to myself. I heard my own self-talk, and that sent me screaming into therapy because I went, this is not okay. That's what I'm talking about. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like taking a break. It looks like taking a vacation. I have a vacation coming up that I'm super excited about. So I'm not going anywhere, but my brother is coming to me. So, where was I? I remind you every day about the spiritual practice of self-care. I want to remind you because you can't pour from an empty cup. You know, you gotta take care of yourself. It's that airline thing. It's like, okay, you know what? When the oxygen mask drop, put yours on first, then help your neighbor. Because if you don't put yours on first, then you can't help your neighbor if you don't, if you pass out from lack of oxygen. That is why it is a spiritual practice. It is absolutely self-care. I want you to create the habit. I want you to create that first response so that no matter what happens to you or to anybody around you, that you can respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately. I want you to create a well-worn path to the source of your own being, that Christ within that we're talking about, which is the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. You'll never run out of love, kindness, and compassion when you're plugged in. Okay? That is the truth. I also want to remind you that it looks like eating dessert first. 1, I'm a big believer that chocolate is the first step to fixing anything. And 2, your life is a special occasion. None of us know how long we've got. So it is definitely about making the ordinary extraordinary a little more often. Wear the fancy clothes, eat the fancy food, use all the fancy dishes and stemware and glassware and silverware. Make the ordinary extraordinary a little more often, please. And then I also want to remind you about joy, okay? Joy is a quality of God, therefore joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. Please make room for that. What does that look like? It might look like going and getting ice cream. It might look like watching a funny movie in the midst of dealing with something that is sad. It means taking some time out of doing the mundane that we do and experiencing that joy. Because sometimes when the world gets really messy, you need to take time out for yourself. All right. Okay. So the rest of the suggestions are basic self-care. Do something to engage your mind and your body, please. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better when it's well hydrated. Your body works better when it's well hydrated. Your skin looks better when it's well hydrated. I will appeal to your vanity if that's what it takes to get you to drink plenty of water. And especially as we're cooling off and we go into the season where it's cold and you turn your heat on, you can get dehydrated faster in the winter than you can in the summer. So please drink plenty of water. In that case, you might just heat it up and make it tea. So, I've gotten into drinking herbal teas. I still drink them cold though. I let them cool off too long. All right. And then I do also encourage you to get that early in your day bright light. We had a pretty good cloud cover today, but I still got that sun filtering through the clouds. About 5 or 10 minutes. That's all I'm talking about, from 7 to 9 in the morning. It supports your vitamin D, but more importantly, it supports your circadian rhythm. And that's a natural hormone balance. So it will help to, you'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. Sorry. And if you can't get the natural sunlight, because like I said, the sun was behind a thick layer of clouds and it may rain tomorrow. So who knows what is going to happen. Artificial light will help too. It has to be a specific light wavelength for vitamin D. In that case, look into the seasonal effect disorder lamps. Okay. At this point, I think you can buy a light bulb that you can just screw into something you already have. You don't have to like buy a whole thing, but they're available. All right. Yep. And so I'm now at my Ernest Holmes quote, where I remind you to open the windows of your soul, allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Okay. Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. All right. So if the kingdom of God, which is heaven, right, is within me, that means it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It is not a place I have to get to, but a mindset I learn to create. A conscious state of consciousness that I learn to create. That means, one, it's grace. Because we all can learn, anybody can learn it. Anybody can learn it. And once you learn it, nobody can take it away from you. And then any place you are can become heaven. That is a superpower. Okay. Did you know you were a superhero? No, you did not know. You are a superhero in your own life because you can create that heavenly mindset for yourself. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. That's the thing about daily spiritual practice. The more you do it, the easier it gets. All right. I can only imagine if I were to go back and watch like the first couple of these that I've done, how much I have grown from doing these every day. All right. And you can, if you want to, go to the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel and go to the 2020 playlists. And you can see, have I grown? Have I gotten better at this? So, all right. Which is neither here nor there. But I guess I'm at since I'm talking about creating the heavenly mindset, Emma Curtis Hopkins, open the window. No, that's Ernest Holmes. Look for the good and praise it. You want to change your mindset? Count your blessings. Random acts of kindness, volunteer work, count your blessings. Look for the good and praise it. Science says that will change your mindset. So there you go. All right. Take a deep breath. I'm in the social media part. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark on the social medias that we are on. I will remind you that we are, that I am the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. As I just plugged that YouTube channel. If you want to see what I looked like 4 years ago, you can go see how good I was then when I just started these. And then, if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That's a constant contact. You get about 1 email a week because it's a real person doing it. He didn't have time to do more than that. But the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you either right to the information you want, like our YouTube channel, the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel. There's a link that'll take you right to the soul session. There are hours of content on both channels, on both YouTube channels and both Facebook pages. Like, I read you this thing called You because I found out there wasn't an audible version of it. It's such a fantastic book. Everybody needs to know this. All right. Okay. I'm moving on into encouraging you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a Christ within day, a kindness day, a loving day, and a compassionate day, a let the light shine day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Okay? You are literally God in motion. You are spirit in action. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you're a godling. All right? Know the truth of your being. Explore the truth of your being. As I like to say, peel back the layers of who you have been told you are and get to know who you actually are. Not who society and culture and religion and all of that nonsense have told you who you are. Not who the people that love you have told you who you are. Not who the people who don't know you have told you who you are. Who God knows you to be. And the only way to find that out is to go to God and say, show me who I am. Show me who I am at the core of my being. Show me who you made me to be. Because I can promise you that that person is good. And I like to say cool. You know, Joe Cool from Snoopy. That's what I'm talking about. All right, beloveds. Get to know the truth of your being. All right, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.